Metropolitan Council. It is Wednesday, April 11th, 2018, and I call this meeting to order. The first order of business is the approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved and seconded?
I'll second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is adopted. The next order of business is approval of minutes from our March 28th meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Moved and, is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Schreiber, second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is adopted. At this point in the meeting, members of the public who wish to address the council on matters not on the agenda may do so, but we'd ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to address the council? I don't see anyone signed up. Okay. Seeing none. Then next on the agenda is the consent agenda.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is adopted. Next is the report of the standing committees for the environment. Councilmember Rimmel.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Business item 2018-92, same week, is a request for public hearing authorization for the Southwest Metro Reclamation Facility Plan. Today we have Janine Clancy, Assistant General Manager for Technical Services, to provide a summary of this item.
Madam Chair, members of the council, thanks for having me here this evening. I'm here to present a same week item to authorize the public hearing on the facility plan for Southeast Metro wastewater reclamation facilities. And let's see. So the Southeast Metro water reclamation facilities are treatment, storage, and distribution facilities needed to provide reclaimed water to SKB Environmental, also known as Enerchem. If the project goes forward, the treatment and storage facilities would be located at the former Rosemont wastewater treatment site, and that's located on the map indicated by the satellite treatment is the purple box on the figure, and that's just east of US Highway 52 and on the north side of 140th Street in the city of Rosemont. The distribution pipeline would follow the route of the purple line. You can see the purple and the green line. With the purple line on the figure from the old treatment plant site, we'd head west to Blaine Avenue, north on Blaine to 117th Street, and then east to the proposed Enerchem site. So last year we had a task force of community members to advise us on wastewater reuse. That task force recommended that MCES seek funding from non-council sources to apply to wastewater reuse projects. The Public Facility Authority loan funds are one possible source of funding that could lower the interest rate on this project associated with constructing the MCES facilities. The slide before you shows a current and proposed project schedule. Yesterday we had a conference call with representatives from SKB Enerchem, and they stated that they are about 3 to 4 months behind schedule. However, the design and construction phases may be delayed accordingly. MCS staff is currently negotiating a memorandum of understanding and a design deposit agreement with Enerchem. At the same time, we are pursuing Public Financing Authority loan funds and working on an agreement with MPCA to access the $300,000 reuse grant that the legislature authorized last year in the 2017 session. To obtain a loan fund or a PFA loan fund, MCS must meet certain deadlines. And frankly, deadlines for PFA funds are generally in March of the year, and so we're way past that deadline. One of those approvals is to submit a facility plan for approval by MPCA and PFA. MPCA and PFA staff have accommodated MCS as we've worked to move the project forward, but not get ahead of Enerchem's schedule. The time frame shown on this slide for the Southeast Metro wastewater reclamation facilities plan public hearing is August. But based on information that we've recently received from PFA, they've asked that we accelerate the hearing date to May 31st, 2018, so that we can submit the facility plan as soon as possible. Staff recognizes that Council will just be wrapping up the wastewater reuse policy amendment process in mid-May, and that the agreements with Interchem will not be executed in sometime in the summer. Ideally, these activities would occur in succession. However, to preserve our opportunity to use PFA funding, we do need to move up the adoption of the facility plan, and we're requesting that it go forward in May. So the next steps in the process is to amend the wastewater reuse policy plan with a wastewater reuse amendment as shown on this slide. The public comments on the policy amendments and the recommended amendment will be discussed at the Committee of the Whole meeting next week. The Environment Committee will then consider and recommend policy language at the April 24th meeting. And finally, the full Council would consider adoption of the policy amendment at its May 9th meeting. So yesterday, the Environment Committee recommended that the Council authorize a public hearing to gather public input on the facility plan for the Southeast Metro water reclamation facilities. The proposed action for the Council today is to act on this recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Therefore, I move that the Metropolitan Council authorize the public hearing to gather public information input on the facility plan for the Southwest Metro water reclamation facilities.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this or any questions? Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is adopted. The next standing committee is the Management Committee. Councilmember Chavez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is business item 2018-78, the labor agreement with the Transit Managers and Supervisors Association. The contract expired on December 31, 2017. TMSA represents 297 managers and supervisors working across all divisions of Metro Transit. Following recommendation from the TMSA Executive Board, the TMSA membership ratified the agreement on March 21, 2018. Highlights of the agreement include a 3-year contract effective January 1, 2018 and expiring December 31, 2020. For each year of the agreement, a 2% general increase for all eligible employees in the bargaining unit. For each year of the agreement, a performance pool of 1.5% to be distributed based on performance to employees whose compensation falls within the performance zone. An increase in employee responsibility for health insurance premiums by 0.5% each year until the amount reaches 20% for family coverage and 10% for single coverage. The cost of the labor agreement was reviewed by Finance and was negotiated within the economic parameters established by the Council. The item was reviewed and approved by the Management Committee on March 28. Madam Chair, the Management Committee moves approval to authorize the Regional Administrator to enter into a labor agreement with the Transit Managers and Supervisors Association effective January 1, 2018 through December 31st, 2020.
Thank you, Member Chavez. Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? The motion is adopted. The next item on our agenda is other business. Councilmember Commerce, would you like to read the first item?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this item is 2018-94. It's an amendment to the 2018 Annual Livable Communities Act Fund Distribution Plan. As you'll recall, on March 28th in our meeting, we adopted the 2018 Fund Distribution Plan for the Livable Communities Demonstration Account, the LCDA TOD account, and the Local Housing Incentives Account. We also adopted a motion to table the tax-based revitalization account component because of opposition to consolidating the TBRA and TBRA TOD accounts. Last Monday, the Community Development Committee, we had a pretty lengthy discussion on this topic, and the motion that's before you I think represents the spirit of that discussion. It's to amend the 2018 Fund Distribution Plan to include language that provides for the TBRA regular program TBRA TOD program and TBRA Seeding Equitable Economic Development, or the SEED account. In total, that's an $8 million funding item. So this amendment would provide more funding than what is in the 2017 fund distribution plan, but it's the same structure as far as the TBRA program goes. This motion, members, you'll also note, contemplates some work this year, this calendar year, to consider ideas for streamlining TBRA programs going forward. And so that will include, but not be limited to, the 3 cities that have raised concerns about consolidating the regular TBRA and the TBRA TOD program in recent weeks. So I'd like to move that, Madam
Thank you.
Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Member Barber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was part of the discussions both at the last council meeting and at CDC. I will be voting for this action today. However, I continue to have concerns about maintaining the program in the same manner as the past. The TBRA TOD program has consistently been undersubscribed. In each year since 2013, there have been funding shifts from the TBRA TOD program to the TBRA program. Additionally, only a small number of cities have applied, and only 3 have been awarded since the program was initiated. In fact, there were no applications in 2017. I think this reflects that the program is not fully working as intended. Also, having to do shifts after the LCA awards could actually lead to delays in funding good projects, which I think also goes against the original intent. That said, I think it is more important for the funds to be allocated for the spring award round, which is why I'm voting for this today. But I'm also very happy and pleased that we're going to continue to evaluate the program so that we really can make it as effective as possible.
Thank you, Member Barber. Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is adopted. Next item on the agenda is the appointments for the Transportation Accessibility Advisory Committee, item 2018-93. And I have the opportunity to make recommendations for appointments to 6 vacancies on the TAC. The council received 10 applications for the 6 vacancies and interviewed candidates on Monday, March 26th. The applicants represented a very strong pool of candidates, and I'd like to thank Councilmember Barber and Councilmember Schreiber for serving on the selection panel. So I move that the Metropolitan Council approve the following appointments to the Transportation Accessibility Advisory Committee for District C, E, F, G, and H, and the chair. And that's the end of my motion. I was going to read the names, but they're kind of hard. Is there a second?
Second.
Sorry, can I have a motion? Moved and seconded? Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any?
Hi. I was just going to say Patty Thorson's in the audience.
Oh, thank you, Patty Thorson. Thank you for being here. And thank you. Congratulations on your appointment. Anyone opposed? I think I need to finish that. No one's opposed. Congratulations. So now we'll move to reports from council members. Do council members have any reports that they would like to share? Member Cunningham.
Madam Chair, I spent part of the day Saturday with the Lindale redesign. I think many of you might be aware of the Lynn Lake area. There's an opportunity to redesign some of the parking lots and other areas that's right by my house. And so there were over 70 people that showed up to think about how we redesign space in a dense area of our community. And the only reason I bring it up is that it really demonstrates that people are really interested in what happens in their communities and how it gets designed and developed. Bus rapid transit became a very integral part of that discussion. I think, we worked through a TOD plan for Lake Street and the Greenway. And that really played a central role in the discussion that happened that day. So the work we're doing here actually makes itself way down in the community at the grassroots level. And so I was very proud that we had done that work.
Excellent. Any other Member Barber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On March 29th, I believe, Councilmember Rodriguez and I attended the last 169 PAC meeting. The Policy Advisory Committee for that group is unique in that it's looking at the combination of both MinPass and BRT within the same work group. And it's a very interesting project, and I think the result was fantastic in that a very wide-ranging group of people agreed on a potential alignment, which would be up 169 and then in Highway 55. And that was a really, really positive outcome, and I think we accomplished a lot of great work.
Yep, agreed.
Nice. Member Elkins.
Yeah, I attended the 494 Corridor Commission meeting this morning. We had a really good presentation on the D line from Jason and the arterial BRT staff, and they passed a resolution supporting the bonding funding we need for the completion of the D line.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'll see you at 35W in the morning.
Sorry?
I'll see you at 35W Solutions Alliance in the
Tomorrow morning?
Yep.
Yep. I think it's 7:30. Is that what time it starts?
That's the bad part.
Any other updates from folks? We had the opportunity to make a visit to the FTA, the Federal Transit Administration's acting administrator, last week with a delegation from Hennepin and Ramsey County, as well as members of the business community, labor, and other supporters of implementing transit across the region. It was really a great way to deliver the message that we stand united as a region, interested in implementing our overall regional transit system. I think with the recent appropriation that I reported on last time in the FY18 appropriations, I think it was a good opportunity for us to really just say that we as a region were ready. We have a really strong history of delivering projects on time and under budget in some cases. And so I think FTA knows our region and knows that we're really capable of delivering as good partners. So that was a really positive and kind of fun opportunity. Any other updates? Then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Let Gail make the motion.
Yeah.